You sit down on the couch after a dinner with your closest friends. Instead of feeling full, you stare at the wall in complete silence for 40 minutes. You have cleaned that same kitchen counter 3 times tonight just to keep your hands busy. This isn't introversion. It's scanning the room for other people's comfort, and your brain runs it to keep you safe. I used to leave a fun dinner party and immediately feel like I needed to sleep for 2 days. I would sit on my bed with my jacket still on, completely empty. You sit in your car in the driveway for 10 minutes to experience a space where no one needs anything from you.
That tiny pause in the front seat feels like a harmless habit. It's an autopilot habit. In this video, you'll understand why being around people drains your battery and how to drop the performance the moment it starts. A hidden force pulls your energy before you even speak a word. The cost of being easy? One step into a room, and you instantly map out what everyone else needs. You adjust your posture, soften your voice, and swallow your own opinions just to keep the peace. You already tried setting boundaries. Reading the advice and practicing your answers change nothing. The boundary never holds. The exhaustion returns instantly. One avoided conversation today multiplies into a full year of quiet anger. You'll eat cold takeout standing over the sink just so you don't interrupt someone else's movie. This isn't weakness. The reflex fires before you even make a choice. This constant performance costs you your own life. The people you genuinely love drain your battery. It leaves you empty. You lose your entire evening just recovering from a normal dinner. The heaviest toll has nothing to do with the words you speak. A hidden rule dictates your next move before you even sit down. Fixing a mood that isn't yours? That hidden rule activates the moment you sit across from someone who isn't smiling. You try matching their pace, but it never holds. You exhaust yourself trying to fix a mood that doesn't belong to you. When a friend goes quiet over coffee, you immediately assume their silence is your fault. So you scramble. The questions pour out. Mentioning a mutual friend buys another minute, but the conversation rests entirely on your shoulders. You treat their neutral state like a personal emergency. The heat goes lower and lower in your own home until you shiver, so a guest never breaks a sweat. That's exactly what happens when you shrink yourself to keep the room stable. You sacrifice your own warmth so they never feel a chill. Let the dead air linger for 10 whole seconds without filling it. This pause proves the environment is completely safe. Ask one direct question, like, "How did your meeting go?" and let them answer it. Physically lean back in your chair while they speak. You own your own internal weather. When they go quiet, consciously hold your own posture and keep your voice steady. Let them sit in their own silence without you rushing to fill it. Paying a fine in advance. You ask for the Tuesday extension in 4 flat words. Or you burn energy defending yourself from a fight no one started. The first choice gets the job done. The second path forces you to build a desperate defense for a crime nobody accused you of. Every message becomes a threat assessment. You draft 3 paragraphs explaining your broken internet router just to ask for an extra hour. Nobody asked for that. You pay a parking ticket before you even buy a car. Settling a penalty that doesn't exist yet just drains your focus. That urge hits fast, so you need a mechanical stop. Stop the draft. Delete the entire message and start over with only the request. State your need in 1 sentence. Do not add a justification or a buffer. Send it before your brain finds a reason to apologize. You think you are saving time by smoothing the path? Instead, you are paying a tax on every interaction you touch. The exhaustion of hiding your preference. At home, that burden feels like running every drop of water through a rusted sieve before you drink it. Thirst is immediate, but the liquid must pass through layers of metal to be sure no one minds. Someone asks what you want for a meal. Hiding what you actually want avoids being an inconvenience. The jaw sets while a rapid calculation of their preferences begins. Eating a meal you secretly hate beats the risk of picking a place they slightly dislike. the truth vanishes. The filter catches your own opinion, and a weak compromise pours out.
Continually swallowing your own choices to keep things smooth leaves you empty. Speak your actual preference out loud in one flat, direct sentence. The phantom pressure lifts the second your choice exists in the real world. Being completely alone carries its own heavy physical demand. The real weight of this doesn't live in the people around you. It lives in the eyes you imagine on you when you're alone. Defending against an empty room. Why does this feeling of taking up too much space persist? A crowd full of strangers feels like a group of evaluators. The gym floor triggers an immediate urge to shrink. One loud sigh, and focus vanishes. Muscles brace against an invisible weight. Holding your breath while you lift creates unnecessary strain. Tightening your shoulders to stay small burns through energy reserves before you even finish a single set. Fatigue comes from the way you hold your body in the presence of others. Redirecting that stare starts with where you point your eyes. Look directly at the physical equipment instead of the mirrors. Turn your body away from the center of the gym. Focus your eyes on one specific spot on the wall. That focus pulls you out of the performance. The eyes don't just see the wall, they map the boundaries of your own isolation. You exist only on their terms, becoming a person who vanishes the moment someone else walks into the room. The secret bill you keep sending? Living on someone else's terms also means Friday afternoon vanishes into formatting a peer's slide deck. You give away your time secretly expecting a refund. Generosity usually feels light, but this specific favor builds a bitter resentment when the other person never returns the effort. Reviewing the final pages, your hands clench. The other person never agreed to the transaction. This hidden invoice drives the bitterness. You hand over your weekends and your skills, silently tallying a debt the other person never authorized. Buying a costly lunch for the table and getting angry when no one thanks you operates the exact same way. You cover the bill, expecting a massive emotional payout. When the gratitude doesn't show up, the unpaid balance turns into outright anger. Name the favor as a gift, not a loan, before you agree to do it. Reframe the request in your mind. Tell yourself this is a free choice you are making for your own reasons. It is not a debt you are collecting. Removing the hidden invoice stops the bitterness before it starts. After that, say no to the next request that you secretly resent. Then write out the exact limit you're afraid to enforce. Secret invoices stop printing. You keep your weekend, and the bitterness starves. How to drop the weight. Now you know the name. Your brain didn't break. Interpersonal hypervigilance is an automatic reflex that treats another person's slight shift in mood as a crisis you have to solve. That makes 5 traps you have navigated. All those times you bent over backward to keep things smooth, you were trying to prevent a conflict. Waiting for someone to finally grant you the right to relax keeps the cycle running. You don't need their approval to stop managing the world around you. You already have the right to sit still. Tonight is yours to keep without staring at a blank wall. Subscribe. There's more here to help you take it back.